Chucky is back. Somewhat. Yo, what's up, y'all? It's your man Slim Jim Longfoot, aka the GOAT, King of America. Welcome to another movie review. This is a spoiler review, so please, 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 if you have not watched the 2019 film Child's Play, the remake of the classic 1988 Child's Play, please, please, please leave now because we're spoiling. We are spoiling. I went to the movies yesterday. Um, Checked out Child's Play. You know, had a choice between two toy movies. You know what I'm saying? I was thinking about going to go either see Toy Story 4, which of course is a movie that everybody's been waiting on for the past 9 years. Even though I hadn't been anticipating Toy Story 4 longer, because Child's Play was something that I feel, of course, did not need a remake. First of all, if you are a Child's Play fan or Chucky, you know, the name of the, serial killer doll, uh, Chucky has had movies over the years. You know what I'm saying? If you kept up with Chucky, you know that Chucky has had sequels over the years after the first, 4 or 5 movies went to the theaters from, Child's Play 1, 2, and 3. And then eventually they started, naming the movies after Chucky, from Bride of Chucky on down to the last one, which was Cult of Chucky, which was one of my favorites because after I saw that movie when it came out 2 years ago, Cult of Chucky, I was looking so forward to seeing where it was going to go next. And then sometime early this year, I think my cousin or my homeboy told me that they were going to do a new Child's Play movie. And, I'm thinking to myself, okay, a new Chucky movie. And then, then I found out it was going to be a remake to the original Child's Play. And I'm like, why? But I was like, I mean, shoot, Cult of Chucky was good. You know what I'm saying? The last two movies, Brad Dourif, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, if you are a Chucky fan, a Child's Play fan, Brad Dourif, he has played Charles Lee Ray, aka Chucky, since the original Child's Play back in 1988. All right, the 2019 Child's Play is, is everybody know from 1988? Um, a guy, a serial killer, Charles Lee Ray, was killed. You know what I'm saying? Ended up in the toy, ended up in a mall or the store, whatever like that, and he used his voodoo technique that he learned from somebody of soul from the dude, the voodoo dude, learned his soul transferring technique from him, and put his soul in a doll, and what the dolls were called good guys. Back in the 80s in real life, they had these dolls back in the day called My Buddy, because, dolls were still pretty popular amongst kids. That was the Cabbage Patch Kids era. You had My Buddy, Kid Sister. Child's Play basically destroyed all that. Like, when Child's Play came out in 88, nobody wanted no My Buddy no more. Nobody wanted a Kid Sister no more. That was it. That was a wrap. Nobody wanted those no more. Anyways, that's how that went down in the original Child's Play. In 2019, what we do, what they have going on, of course, we're in a more, we're in the internet, Wi-Fi technological age. 2019 Child's Play, it starts off at the factory where they're making all the dolls. The dolls are all called Buddy with an eye at the end, showing a little Wi-Fi signal at the top of the dot of the eye, just keep it cute, for the Wi-Fi, whatever. Anyway, this guy, he was working. He had got distracted for a minute while he was working, assembling one of the Buddy dolls. And then the factory dude, he came up, started talking trash to him, talking about how he's always, got his head in the clouds, blah, blah, blah. He said he's going to fire him, going to put you back on the streets, finish making that doll, and, he was gone. So at that moment, the guy, he was distraught about his situation. and pissed, and so he's just like, okay, and so he took the doll because the dolls are supposed to. The dolls are made by the same company, Kelsar, that created all of the technological advances that's connecting stuff like like your microwave and your TV and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Big technological company. Connecting all this stuff via Wi-Fi and whatnot. And the Buddy dolls are supposed to be a big help to connect. Have with your kid. Got an app for it, all that type of stuff. Technological know-how. Blah blah blah. So the guy, he takes all of the parental settings off of the doll that he's working on. You know what I'm saying? He takes all the inhibitors off. Every is basically whatever. You know what I'm saying? He took everything off, all the safety protocols off of the chip in the doll, and he put it up. And if I'm not mistaken, he killed himself. I think that was him that jumped out the window onto the car because I know he didn't push the other guy. I don't think he was, you know, that bold to do that. I think he killed himself. And so that was taking place in Vietnam. That's where the dolls were being manufactured at, in Vietnam, in their facility over there. So now, of course, we go back. We're back in America, and we go to a store where this young lady, she's working at the store, Aubrey Plaza, who, what I'm saying, who used to be on the show Community, which was a great show on NBC back in the last decade in the 2000s. A beautiful young lady, cool actress. What I'm saying, she plays the store clerk, the cashier. They was asking this dude. He came in asking for uh, a different Buddy doll because everybody's waiting on the Buddy 2 to come out, and he was blah 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 all at the mouth on her. What I'm saying, talking about he wanted the blonde. He didn't want the ginger, the redhead doll. But she's trying to keep her cool, and she's like like you can clearly see that what you purchased was the redhead doll, and the blonde doll hasn't come out yet. That's coming out like in the next few months or whatever. Like, you know, I can't help you on that. You know, so he left and whatnot. So basically, she's just buddied out because that's basically what is the big seller at her store. You know what I'm saying? Because they got the buddies all up in there. You know what I'm saying? And so she goes home, and we come across her son. Her son name is Andy. She's basically playing Catherine Hicks, what I'm saying, who was the mom in the original Child's Play, from Seventh Heaven. And this Andy is older, which is good. He's not, like 5, 6 years old. He's like more like 12, 13, somewhere around there, like about 12, maybe like 12. So she was basically a mom, a teenage mom, had him as a teenager. So she's playing like 28, 29, and he's like 12, whatnot. So, what I'm saying, with the times, So he has a hearing aid in one ear, his left ear, if I'm not mistaken. He's pretty much a loner, what I'm saying, keeps to himself, what I'm saying, because evidently something happened to his dad. His dad probably died, or yeah, his dad definitely died, because he, was sad he was gone, what I'm saying. So most likely his dad died. Um, so he's just pretty much a loner kid, what I'm saying. And his mom, she started seeing this old dude. I didn't even realize who the old dude was until like the end of the movie. That was Tim Matheson. Like I didn't even recognize him because he was old. I was like, man, she's messing with this old guy, whatever. What I'm saying? And he looked so weird because Tim Matheson, his hair used to be dark back in the day. He was a redhead in this movie, like strawberry blonde, like reddish hair, whatnot. I gotta look at some young pictures of him again because I haven't seen. It's been so long since I seen Tim Matheson in the movie. Like I said, I didn't even recognize him until I saw his name in the credits. And I was like, dang, that was Tim Matheson. But yeah, he played her boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? The guy who she had just currently started seeing. And down the hall, an older lady, lady in her 50s, black lady in her 50s. She lived down the hall. Her son would come and have dinner with her just about every week. Detective Mike, played by um, I'm trying to remember his first name, Brian Tyree Henry, who of course played Paperboy on the FX show Atlanta, which of course now makes this movie degrees of Donald Glover, because if y'all know Donald Glover, aka Childish Gambino, you know what I'm saying, very popular, you know what I'm saying, actor and singer, rapper, the creator of the FX show Atlanta. And, you know, both of these main people are, you know what I'm saying, degrees away from him because he was on the show Community with Aubrey. And of course, he created Atlanta, which is what, you know, Henry is on now. You know, shout outs Henry. Shout outs to the Henrys, yeah.
Keep the heads ringing. Keep the heads ringing.
He saw him in the hallway one day, you know what I'm saying, and, you know, struck up a conversation with him. Andy lied and told his mom that he went out to go, you know, hang out with some kids or whatever, you know what I'm saying, because he didn't want to be in the same, he didn't want to be in their apartment while the guy was there, you know what I'm saying, the dude who she was seeing. And so, you know what I'm saying, she realized she needed to, you know, try to make up for, you know, making him feel kind of, you know what I'm saying, funny, you know what I'm saying, on that tip. So somebody had brought back a buddy doll and said, you know what I'm saying, they saw the eyes flickering, the eyes were flickering and stuff, they flickered red. So she was like, I'm taking this back, you know, like, can I get a refund? I don't want this. And she was like, okay. And so she talked to the dude in the back of the store, you know, who had to keep up with the inventory and whatnot. And so she was like, what y'all, you know, for defective toys, you know, defective products, what are y'all gonna do with it? And he was like, gonna send it back to the company. And he's like, what are they gonna do with it? Oh, they gonna destroy it. And she was like, so, you know what I'm saying? So I can take this then. You ain't gotta worry about, you know, turning this back in, you know. I mean, I can just go ahead and take it, right? And he was like, no, you know what I'm saying, I still gotta account for it. And she's like, okay, cool. And so, you know, she brought up, you know, how he made out with his, you know what I'm saying, little chick in the back and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And then was like, so how's your wife? You know, how's she doing? Yeah, that's what I thought. So go ahead and take this doll now. So she went ahead and took the doll, and Andy's birthday is coming up in a couple of weeks. Andy, you know what I'm saying, she brought the doll home. His birthday is in a couple of weeks. And she was like, you know, she know he was kind of, you know what I'm saying, mad with her, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, let me go ahead and, you know, drop this on you right here. And Chucky, or the buddy dog, I should say, the design of him now is so freaking weird. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm gonna tell you like this, like the original good guy Chucky doll before he went all serial killer, you know what I'm saying, was a little cute face, you know what I'm saying, cute face doll, you know what I'm saying, little cute face doll. Those buddy dolls now, even when he's not in killer mode, they are fugly. They are fugly. Them dolls are ugly. It's like, nah, nope, ain't no way. I ain't buying no dog like that for no kid, no grown person, no nothing. That dog is ugly. Them dog is ugly. They ugly. They ugly. So anyway, you know, he got the dog. You know, he looked at it for a minute, like, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, these things are for like little kids or whatnot. And so he was just tripping about it. But then, you know what I'm saying, they was trying to turn him on, and, you know, his eyes were flickering. They flicker back and forth red or whatnot for a little sec. But then, you know, he was having, you know, he couldn't connect to anything, you know what I'm saying, because he was a defective product, you know what I'm saying. He couldn't connect to no Wi-Fi or no TV or nothing like that. But, you know what I'm saying, you know, Andy thought it was cool. I guess he felt some type of kinship for him because of the fact that he was a toy that didn't work properly, but, you know what I'm saying, still worked. And so, you know what I'm saying, like, he was like, hey, you know, But the buddy's dog started talking to me. He was like, "Hey, what's your name?" He was like, "Andy, sup?" Like, "Hi, Andy, sup?" you what's my name? And then he was like, Han Solo. He was like, Chucky, Chucky. And he was like, "No, that's not what I said. I like Chucky. Chucky sounds good, Chucky." And so that's how he got his name here. You know what I'm saying? He's, started calling himself Chucky, which was funny. I found that scene funny. You know what I'm saying? For those that don't know, the person who is playing Chucky in this movie, which is the only reason that I was intrigued by it, because to me, Brad Dourif playing Chucky, Charles Lee Ray, you can't substitute that. You know what I'm saying? He's been playing the dude, he's been playing the character for 30 years. Like, you can't even substitute that. But when I found out who was going to play Chucky in this movie, I was like, wow, I didn't even think about him, but that would be the only person who could play Chucky as great as Brad has. And that, of course, is the legendary voice actor, Mark Hamill. For those that recognize that name, of course, you know what I'm saying? Not only is Mark Hamill an incredible voice actor, but he's, of course, best known as Luke Skywalker from the Star Wars series. You know what I'm saying? That's what he was best known and first known as before his legendary voice acting career. So it was funny that, you know what I'm saying, Andy called him Han Solo, and, this is the guy who played Luke. So, that was funny. Also, there's another degree with Childish Gambino, Donald Glover, because Donald Glover played the young Lando in the Solo movie. You know, since he's not possessed by a serial killer, the thing is, since all of those inhibitors are off, thanks to the programmer, thanks to the guy who, put him together back in Vietnam, thanks to him cutting off all of those parental settings and, inhibitors and everything that Chucky was seeing, he was, assimilating to, like watching horror movies with Andy. That was the first time that he saw, such a display of, horrificness. And there was the kids, they were there laughing and watching the horror movie, laughing and all that stuff. And Chucky was seeing all of that. He was taking all that in, he was soaking all that in. And, everything he was taking all that in. Just like a young boy who eventually owned him, quote unquote, owned him at one point, later on in the movie, was like, yeah, stab this and say this is for Tupac, which is what Chucky said eventually to his first kill, the guy who Andy's mom was seeing, Tim Atherson's character. And so the kills up in this thing was quite, they were crazy. They were crazy, considering, this was the first version, the first child's play in this series here, this remake. And don't get it twisted, like, I liked it. I like this movie. But I'm hoping it's just a standalone movie. It doesn't deserve a sequel because of the situation involved with how this doll came into being. Like, he came into being because, not because of supernatural means, not because he's possessed by a serial killer's soul, but because, it was like some factory settings that, went wrong. And the only thing that I figured, when they showed the end, after they, killed Chucky and then showed one of the dolls' eyes flicker red, maybe he downloaded his personality, downloaded himself into another doll. That's the only thing that I could think that, that's what would keep that Chucky going. That he downloaded himself into another doll, which, would make sense also. But, you know, big difference between the soul of a serial killer and, the a downloaded, psycho doll, psycho robot doll. That's basically what he is. He's a psycho robot doll, a psycho robot, basically. Daggone Terminator. But all in all, the movie was, like I say, the movie was good. The kills were crazy. You know what I'm saying? The dude, the creepy maintenance guy. You know what I'm saying? He was the one who really, messed everybody up in the end because, when Andy and his friends, the friends that he eventually made, they was able to, get Chucky, after he killed and Tim Afterson's character, after he killed his character. Andy and his friends were able to, pull Chucky apart and throw him away. But the maintenance guy found them and put them together because he was going to sell them on eBay, and he hooked them up with the 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 capsule. I don't know the name of the thing, but he hooked them up with the right part that was able to connect Chucky to all of the other products, all of the other Castle products. And that of course ended up being that dude's demise because he basically gave Chucky an upgrade, and that was a wrap after that. The movie was good. The movie was good, but I don't think it warrants a sequel just because of the fact that I'm a fan of the original, Chucky series, and I'm still looking forward to a sequel to Code of Chucky. I mean, what really made me want to check it out is because of Mark Hamill. If it wasn't for Mark Hamill, I wouldn't have even, considered watching the movie. But other than that, it was cool. It was Chucky. It wasn't Chucky, but it was Chucky. It was child's play. See y'all on the next go round. Appreciate y'all for watching this movie review. Please do like, share, and subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications on my next videos, especially my series GOAT 1408 TV, where I do, my art videos. Meantime, between times, I'm out. One love.
Time, no, no, no. Tell them don't waste my time. Tell them don't waste my time.